The Orlando attacks demonstrate why we need to vote for Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. The only hope we have of containing terrorism, it seems to me, is with the Trump victory over Hillary. First of all, start with the basic fact that for the 7.5 years after 9/11, when Al-Qaeda was thriving and pulled off the 9/11 attacks, we had not a single attack on American soil, not one. And since Obama took office, we've now had 45 of them. Ever more deadly, the Orlando attack being the deadliest, with at least 50 people killed. Now, when you ask people in the polling who's the best person to address foreign policy, Hillary wins it because she's a former Secretary of State. Then when you say who's the best one to fight terrorism and protect national security, Trump wins that by 50 to 45. When you say who's the best person to fight terrorism, Trump wins that heavily, dropping the word national security. And I suspect that if you asked who's the best person to protect the American people against terrorism, Trump would win it overwhelmingly. When you phrase the issue in terms of protection, who are you going to go with? This State Department bureaucrat won't even call radical Islam by its real name, constantly puts other things ahead of the need to fight terrorism, constantly pulling back resources from the battle against terror, constantly restricting what you can do and what's politically correct and how you can, what you have to do to avoid profiling, against a guy who's going to just basically do what needs to be done to stop terrorism. It's just very clear on the level of personality, the level of experience, and the level of just their policy views, which one of these two people is more effective in protecting us from terror. The recent disclosure by a anti-terror investigator that he was stopped from surveilling the mosque where the killer in Orlando came from, and the information that he was interrogated 3 times by the FBI and deemed not a danger and no further steps were taken. That's the whole problem. The FBI and the anti-terror agents are so conscious of not offending the civil liberties of certain people or of profiling people by ethnicity, and so fearful of the consequences of doing so to their own career that they err way over on the other side and just don't take the action we need to defend ourselves. Now, it seems to me that the Democrats are trying to make this a gun control issue. And I have a very simple solution to that. In the background check that you do on terrorism, on owning a gun, it seems to me that there should be a special listing for people who are in any way suspected of involvement with terror that precludes them from buying at least an AR-15, an assault rifle, so that those large magazine rifles are not available to those folks, although they probably can get them anyway. But this is not a gun control issue. This is overwhelmingly a question of the FBI being so handicapped, so handcuffed, that it really can't be effective in going after terror. And I think this will be a very important issue as this campaign evolves. And if it isn't, those guys are going to keep making it an issue by continuing to attack. Thanks very much for watching.